last-minute shakeup at 5:30 a.m., laundry situation not good. And when your focus is on helping your clients, it's easy to forget about yourself. But NASM knows trainers.
Morning ride is okay.
And staying in front of the day isn't always as simple as 1, 2, 3. So when the unexpected has you pressing pause,
what's the latest on creatine?
I'm going to get back to you on that.
Let NASM1 help you press play. Visit NASM.org to sign up for a membership today.
You're listening to the NASM-CPT Podcast with Richey, winner of the Share Care Emmy Award for Social Storytelling and the official podcast of the National Academy of Sports Medicine.
Hey, y'all, and welcome to the NASM-CPT Podcast. My name is Richey, and today we're going to talk about ambivalence. And I think it's interesting. You talk about ambivalence. First, let's just talk about what that means, because it's a big word. Ambivalence means you want it, but you don't want it. And I always give this example. I am ambivalent when it comes to playing guitar. I want to be able to play guitar. I just don't want to practice playing guitar. With that being said, in this world of fitness that we live in, our clients can be very ambivalent about things. They may want to lose weight, but when it comes time to get up and do something to go through the process that we work through, and we try to identify whether or not this is going to work for you, and they say that I want to get up and I want to go for a walk, but I also don't want to leave the couch. And I totally get it, because I feel that way sometimes about work. When I get up in the morning and I don't want to go to work, and then I think, what are you talking about? You have a cool job and you're about to go to the gym and you're about to get paid. Somebody else is getting their butt up early in the morning and they're paying you to beat up on them for a little bit. And I think, my goodness, why do people do that? And I'm so thankful they do. I'm so thankful they do. But I want to overcome ambivalence, not about getting up early in the morning and showing up for your workout session, but really more about what you do when you are not with me. Now, let me explain where this came from and why I think it's so very important. A few years ago, I started working on a project that NASM has really sunk a lot into, and it is their certified wellness coaching program. And I recently started going through it. I'd started going through it before, and then I was like, I am so exhausted from, I'd written 2 chapters in that text, or at least contributed to them. And then I'm overwhelmed with the amount of work that I didn't do while I was writing the chapters. And I was like, I'm just not going to go through it. Well, recently I picked it back up and started going through it. And it's really, really good. And in one of those places, it starts going into ambivalence. And I think it's very important to figure out how to help people overcome ambivalence. So I pulled the ambivalence worksheet from the CWC, the Certified Wellness Coach program that we have. And I said, let's get to work on talking about this. And I think it's something that we could all do with. And it says this workbook is built on powerful motivational interviewing exercise so that you can figure out your ambivalence. And it works by guiding you to be honest about what's really going on with you. The exercise itself is simple. The things that we are going to provide, that we're going to do here, it's pretty simple, but the rules have to be followed. And this is what it says. First rule on the list, you got to be honest with yourself about your true answers. So when you're talking to people about their ambivalence, we got to make sure you got to be true to yourself. Number 2, take your time and answer the questions as asked. They're often swapped around in your head. They're mixed and matched in certain ways, and you'll hear them because some of the questions, and there are only a few of them, some of the questions sound like the other questions that are coming up. So you have to answer the question that's being asked, and only that one. And then at the end, you have to examine if you really want to change or if you want to stay the same. And so there are some people that say, I want to be healthier. I want to be fitter. I want to get my wind back. I don't like going up a set of stairs, a flight of stairs, and feeling like I'm winded. But when it comes time to get up and do those things, it's the getting up part that's challenging. The sitting down part on the couch and scrolling or watching TV or doing both at the same time, which is what everyone in my family does. Now you watch TV and scroll at the same time. You talk about multitasking your entertainment. But it's hard. It's hard to get up. I mean, my kids don't generally do it until I say, hey, y'all out of the house. You got to get out of the house. My parents did it to me all the time growing up. But I remember getting an Atari. Before Atari, we had Pong. And just a Pong console. Look it up, kids. We had Pong. And that's the best we could do. We basically played table tennis digitally. And my parents still were like, get out of the house. Now, when we got out of the house, nothing was more fun than being out of the house. But I got to be honest, when you're sitting in front of that boom, 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 and that little thing popping all over the screen, it's hypnotizing. You get out of the house, we got lost. We rode our bikes. We went out into the woods. But it can be a little challenging today to get people off device and kick them out of the house. Go outside and play. You don't have somebody generally who is kicking you off the sofa and saying, get out, go to the gym, go for a run, take a walk around the neighborhood. So you got to really ask yourself the questions. Should I stay or should I go now? But before we do that, this episode of the NASM-CPT Podcast is brought to you by NASM-1, the membership for trainers and coaches. Members enjoy unlimited access to hundreds of career resources. Get the Edge app to schedule and program clients. Enjoy half off all certifications and specializations. Access to free CEUs and more. All of this for just $35 a month. Go to nasm.org/membership to learn more about NASM-1. All right, let's start asking some of these questions. Here we go. What are you ambivalent about? What situation or action are you struggling with to change? Because there might be things that you know about, that you are familiar about yourself. You might set a time limit on your scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or any of the other myriad of social medias that are out there. You put a timer on it, and every time that timer pops up, it says 5 more minutes, 15 more minutes, or ignore a limit, you just ignore the limit. So you set it and forget it. Is there something? Are you really ambivalent about? What are you struggling? What situation or action are you struggling to change? That's number one. Number two, what are all the good things? That's the benefit, the feeling good, the physical sensations, the social feelings that you get about not changing. So let's stay with the social media component. What are all the good things that are coming from you spending that time on social media? What are the benefits of doing it? What makes you feel good? What are the physical sensations that you get? What are the social benefits that you're getting? On and on and on. What are the benefits about not changing? What are those? And be honest. Be honest with yourself. And I'd like to know at the end of the next 6-week period, how proud will you be of all the time that you had spent on social media because of the benefits that it gave to you? And then the next one. So number one, what are you ambivalent about? Number two, what are the good things about not changing? Number three, what are the bad things? What are the consequences about not changing? What's not good about me spending so much time on the social media? And we'll just stay with that one. What's not good about it? And maybe all those things that you're like, well, I can't The benefits are it's engaging. It makes me feel good, but sometimes it makes me feel bad. There are no physical sensations. I just lay down on my back and scroll. Sometimes it hurts because I fall asleep and I drop my phone on my face. There's a lot of things that I can think about that maybe aren't beneficial when it comes to not changing. But when you go through it now, you got to ask the next question, which are what are some of the good things? What are the benefits, the positive outcomes that could happen? When it comes to change, if I change from spending so much time on that social media, and what does it allow me to then do? What else will I do with my time? What else will I do with my physical body? What else will I do when it comes to movement? If I could cut down on something that has absorbed me so much, what do I get out of it? What are some of the benefits if I could just back off? And then at the end, review your answers and review it with an open mind, and then ask the question, do you really want to change? Is change what you really want? Because you have an idea of change, and you would like some of the outcomes that would happen if you did change, but is it the changing part that would provide those outcomes over time, which make it much harder to do than the immediate benefits or the sensations you get from sitting and scrolling on your social media. Now you can take all of these things and you can fill that in with my going for a walk after dinner. All right, those are things that I'm ambivalent about. I'd like to get up and go for a walk. I think it'll be good for my health. It'll be good for my mental well-being. It'll be good to help me digest my food instead of going directly to bed. And so you want you to go through and see, what are you ambivalent about? What situation or action are you struggling to change to, right? And then what are all the good things about not going on a walk? 3, what are the bad things about not changing? What are the bad things that happen if I don't go for a walk? What are the good things that happen if I start going for a walk? And then review your answers with an open mind and identify whether or not you really want to change. And you take and you plug all of those in. So I'm going to read these questions to you one more time. If you're taking notes, then you can write this out. Remember, be honest with yourself about your true answer. Remember, you got to take your time and answer the question that is asked. At the end of the exam, identify if you really want to change or stay the same. So here we go. Number 1, what are you ambivalent about? What situation or action are you struggling to change? That's number 1. Number 2, what are the good things? Parenthetically, it will say benefits, good feelings, physical sensations, social boons, etc. What are the good things about not changing? Number 3, what are the bad things or the consequences about not changing? Number 4, what are the good things, the benefits, the positive results about change? And number 5, review your answer with an open mind and identify, do you want to change? I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, share with your fitness friends and family. And if you get an opportunity, leave a review. Also a consideration if you're looking for your what's next with your education. I'm going through it right now. I would say consider going in looking at the Certified Wellness Coach program that NASM has. I've dug into it pretty deep. I spent 2 weekends spending some good amount of time on it. I'm only a third of the way through. I got a lot more work to do on it. And that's just getting through it. Doesn't include the amount of studying that I'd like to do before I get to the final exam. But I will keep you abreast of the situation when it comes to me and my progress with that program. If you want to reach out to me, hit me up. You can do so on Instagram at dr.rickrichey or email me rick.richey@nasm.org. Y'all keep inspiring people to fitness. Thanks for listening. This has been the NASM-CPT Podcast.